Hi, so I'm actually in the park and I was just thinking, so I wanted to make a video about aggression and misplaced emotion because it's kind of weighing on my heart for some reason right now, and I feel like somebody might need to hear this or think about this. But I was thinking about how aggression and anger is kind of an emotion that is forced to kind of expel out of you. And anytime that you feel aggression, it's usually because there is an underlying cause or root of the issue. There was a point in my life where I feel like I resorted to aggression often. I was kind of like a fighter. Anything that happened, even if it wasn't that serious, I would joke about like fighting somebody like all the time. Or if I would go out to bars with my friends or something and somebody would piss us off, I'd be like, oh, I'll beat them up, like I'll fight them or whatever. I was always that person, actually, for most of my life, now that I think about it, because when it got to high school and around that time, I also would resort to aggression or like threatening sort of behavior to beat someone up or something. And I think a lot of aggression, one, is displaced emotion, but two, I think aggression comes from your childhood. Obviously you learn to be aggressive from someone or something, probably like how you were raised. I feel like my household was kind of angry, and a lot of my family is quick to anger. And the past couple years, I have dealt with a lot of anger and a lot of frustration in my life for the way things have gone down, events that have happened in my life, things that have happened to me. And I have to try every single day to not be an angry person. Like at the end of the day, I think of myself as someone who is joyful and go with the flow. But that's a choice that I have to make every single day, to not resort to anger. And I think it's an easy emotion to resort to in times that are frustrating, and when you feel like life is not fair, it's easy to resort to anger and aggression and kind of that fight aspect of fight or flight. But I encourage you to kind of dig below the surface, because I was thinking about this yesterday or this morning. I got into like road rage, and not like anything serious. I just resorted to this guy like getting over in front of me, cutting me off, and I resorted to anger and like an outburst. And after, I literally said to myself, I was like, well, I just have post road rage clarity, because immediately after I was like, that was so unnecessary to automatically respond to a situation that at the end of the day, it's not that serious. But to respond with like an outburst of anger is like harming your peace. And as someone who talks a lot about protecting your peace, I don't want to show him, I feel bad. As someone who talks a lot about protecting my peace, that comes down to choosing not to react to circumstances that don't require a reaction. I try to practice that in my day-to-day life, because over the course of a day, you're going to experience a lot of minor inconveniences. Of course, like not everything is optimal and happens perfectly, like waiting in line for a grocery store, someone cutting in front of you while you're driving, someone not holding the door open for you walking into the gym. There's going to be a lot of different things throughout the course of a day that can be perceived as a minor inconvenience. And The choice to overreact is the opposite of protecting your peace. If you want to be somebody who's peaceful, choose to stop reacting to things that don't require a reaction, like mundane, simple things. And I've been working on that, especially because the past few months I've noticed that I have calmed my nervous system so much. And part of that was because I was always overstimulated. And when I was always overstimulated and hated, I don't want to say hated my life because that sounds so dramatic, but I was not truly at peace and content. I was so quick to anger. And if you're in a place in your life right now where you feel quick to anger, quick to react, quick to jump on something, perhaps you need to evaluate what you are discontent with in your life, what it is in your life that you are not aligning with, what it is in your life that's making you feel overstimulated or like spread too thin, because it is not normal to go through life and be so quick to anger and resort to being aggressive. It's not normal. It means that your nervous system is out of balance. Something in your life is out of balance. There's always an underlying thing. And now that I've worked on prioritizing my nervous system being balanced and, calming my life down and removing stress from my life, I'm so much slower to anger. And when I do kind of resort to anger in certain situations, it's very easy for me in the moment to be like, Ava, we're here, dial it back. So all the times in my life I was quick to anger, either it was because I was so bent out of shape over something that had happened to me and so angry at life that I felt like I was always on the defense in every aspect of my life, or I was so overstimulated and so not aligned and so not grounded in myself that it was very easy for me to have a quick temper, because overall in my life I was not happy. And when you are someone who's aligned with yourself and you're content with the way that your life is going, and you wake up and you feel okay in general about the life that you have chosen to live, your reactions will show that in the way that you move about life. I was actually getting a phone call, but I wanted to just do a quick short video talking about that because my phone overheated. Now you're in the trunk. But I just wanted to make that quick video for you to kind of evaluate why you react the way you do and how you can calm your nervous system in order to not react out of anger, because anger is not a fun emotion to feel and express, and specifically aggression. It definitely means there's some underlying turmoil going on that you need to dig up. And until then, live passionately. Bye.